Hi everyone, welcome to RPA Explorers channel.
I hope you all are doing good. In today's video, we are going to see how you can send an email with attachments like single attachment and with multiple attachments. And also in the last video, we have seen how to send just an email using an email connector without any attachment. This is a mail which we have generated in the last video and it doesn't have any attachment. Here we are going to concentrate on how you can send multiple email with multiple attachment either from a particular folder or a random files, and also we can send specific file format like Excel, Notepad or something, and you can also send only the specific file you want, for example Excel, PDF, Word or so on. And now let's get started. And I'm going to continue using the same activity which we used in the previous video. So here we have the shared parameter to get the bot email ID. So we have this bot email ID which we are getting from shared parameter, and we have the email connector which is set config and send email. So I have explained each and every parameters in my previous video, so in case needed please make sure you watch that video as well. Now let's get started with how you can send a single attachment. So I'm just going to provide a path, and here attachment is of type string, so you have to provide your file path. I'm going to randomly send an Excel file. So let me copy the file path. So you just have to copy the entire file path and just paste it over here. You don't have to add any double quotes, curly braces or anything. Just provide the path you want to attach. And let's send it now. Okay, this is completed, and now let's wait for the email to be received. Okay, so we received the email. So yeah, this is the email which we received. So it has a body, a subject along with the attachment, and now let's see how you can send two attachment. So I'm just going to randomly copy another path. It's not just you have to provide only Excel path, you can provide any relevant path to your attachments. And now to provide your second path, just add a comma and provide the path you want. And here you don't have to add any quotes or something. Provide your first path, comma, your second path, and multiple paths you can add just by providing your comma. And let's trigger it again. And now we have two attachments. This is how you can send an email with multiple attachment. And this can be useful only when you are aware of the path you want to be sent as an attachment. And what if you are not aware of the path but still you want to send a complete files from the given folder? So let's see how you can send multiple files, not just from a single type like text file, PDF, Word document or Excel, from the given particular folder. So for which we are going to use the get file component. So just filter with files, you'll get files from directory. Just drag and drop it. You have to provide the directory path. This is your actual folder path but not the file path. So let's provide the path now. This is input and I'm going to pass it over here. The next parameter, which is search subdirectories. So here I have a folder and also a list of files in my parent folder, and in case you want to loop through the subfolder as well, make sure you change it to true. In that way it can send all the files as an attachment. So next, the file extension. So if you want to filter with a particular extension, you just have to provide, for example xlsx or text or doc. So it depends, and in my case I'm just going to send all the files. And also currently I have only Excel and CSV. Let me also create from text file. So I'll create a text file, and we'll also create some Microsoft document. So I have randomly created different document with different file extension, and also we'll just see what is the output of this. Okay, let me preview the data, and here you can view all the list of files from the given folder, and these are covered inside a double quote separated by comma. Okay, and now let's click on OK. So once we get the file, the next step is to loop through each file and create a path as we do here. Like we have to create a path. So list 1, list 2 and so on. So ideally we have to get each file path from the loop and add a comma, and you have to do the same for all the list of files. Okay. In order to achieve this, do it in two different ways. So the first way is using the component, like you can use a for each component and you can loop through each thing, and you can just append the data with comma, and at the end you can just add the value to the attachments. And the next way, which is using a script or using a transform data. So let's see how you can do in that way, because it reduces lots, so it reduces the usage of more component, and also it is very simple as well. So let's create a variable and we'll transform the data over there. So I'm going to create a local variable. I'll just call it as path, and I'm just going to drag and drop the variable. If you want to go with script component, you can also do the same. I have also created a separate video on that, and in this video we are just going to transform the data. Okay, so first let's understand the logic and then we'll start writing our code. So here is the code we have, and we have declared two different variables. One is for outputting the value, which is for returning it out list of files, and the second is for looping through the for each, which is file. We are just using a for each, and we are using a variable which is this file, and this value is nothing but the list of file which we get from the get files component. So we have to pass that value over here. When the loop get running, it just get each file from the loop. In the first iteration, the file holds a value which is from the first index of the list. So it holds this value, and what we are doing is we are just outputting the value along with the file, and we are concatenating it with comma. So it will be like this, and then we are appending it with output list of files. And on the very first iteration, this is empty, so we don't have any other data over here, and this entire value is now getting stored to this output list of file. And the what runs for the second time, this will be the second iteration value. So it will be like the files, and you have comma, you have the entire value which is like the output list file. So every time when the loop is running, it will start appending the data by comma, and at the end we are just returning the output list file. So our output will be like list 1 comma list 2 comma list 3 comma. Okay, so this is our output look. I will copy this directly to save the time, and also I'll be giving this code in the description as well. Click on this and transform data, just enable the code, and also you can choose the script language, and I'm using VB.NET. So we'll just remove everything, and okay. So yeah, and here what we have to do is that we have to pass this value as input to this transform data. So it should be from this array list. So yeah, I have to move this to here. Let's pass this array of list. So without sending an email, let's just run these two components to check the output. Okay, I'm just running from here. So this is completed. Let's preview the data, and now we have the output in the expected format. Like we have the first path comma, second path comma, and all the path. Okay, and now we'll just pass this to this one which is called attachment. So we'll be getting an error. We'll see what is the error. Okay, so now we have an error. I believe that you all found an error. And now the error is file does not exist with name. And let's preview the data over here. So we have the file path 1 comma, second file path, third, and so on. And if you notice, for the last file path, we are still having this comma, which should not be the case. What the bot does, like bot tries to pick each file from the given folder, and when it comes to the last folder, it could not find anything with an empty file, so it is trying to fail it. What we have to do is that we have to remove this comma at end of the resulting array. So either you can use a substring component, or you can do the same in the script itself. So I already have a separate script, like when we are returning the output list file, we just have to substring it. Like here we have to do a substring from 0th index to the index which is before the comma. So we are getting the last index of comma, which will give us this position. So when you use 0 comma 15 or something, it will give us the value which is from 1 to 14. So this is how the substring work. And let's just copy this and we'll do it over here. And in case you have any error, you will be able to weave them over here. If you don't want to use the transform data, you can just disable this. In that way, don't use the code. So I'll enable it, and now we'll keep a breakpoint and we'll see the output of this. So this time we shouldn't have a comma. So yes, we don't have the comma. This should be successful now. Let me click on move next. So yeah, we don't have an error. The email is also sent successful. So yes, we have all the list of files from the given folder. Hope you all got an idea. We also show you how you can use substring to remove the comma at the end of the string component. So just look for substring. And here you have two parameters, text and the start index. So text is nothing but the resulting array which we get while transforming it without substringing it. So I'm just going to remove this everything, and now we have a list of output along with the comma which is at the end, and that we have to pass it to this text. So we'll just do now. This one we have to copy and paste it over here. And the next parameter, which is start index, so we have to start the value from 0th index. And the next parameter, which is length, here we have to pass the last index of comma. So again I'm going to use the transform data to find the last index. So let's just enable it and paste it. So here we have to pass the output value and finding the last index of the comma. So it should accept a input value which is the same. And now let's just preview the data. So let's look at the data. So if you see, we don't have a comma at the end. You can also achieve the same with component as well. I hope you guys find this video useful. In case you want me to discuss on any specific component or use case, please let me know your thoughts or your suggestion in the comment section. I'll be creating a separate video on that. And thank you so much for watching this video till the end.